machine. Okay, so once after you create this account, log in with the email address which you have given, and the same thing, and you need to confirm here. So before we working on the services and different things and all, see, this is your account information. You have one account ID as well. You have the account ID. This is your account ID. So like we have a number of options like account, we have an organization, we have a billing dashboard, we have a security credentials, we have a settings. So see here, so this is your account setting, your account name and your account password. See here the address which you have mentioned and the phone number which you have given. If you want to give some alternate contact details, everything you can go for. That is in AWS region. This is what we are going to see now, but as of now, leave. So go here, and which is an organization page. There is a billing management cycle. See here. So everything, what and all services you have used till now, how much cost you have used, how much your trial period is spending, everything it will be given in this. Everything will be given in this billing management. Everything will be mentioned in this billing management. So then we have a security credentials. You can just change your password or anything if ever you want. And you can add some additional security. Later we will come to this. MFI means what? Later we'll come to this actually. So if you see here, this is what your settings, account settings option is here. Before that, there is one option called N Virginia. N Virginia in the sense it is North Virginia. In US, it is a North Virginia. So these and all it is a region. North Virginia, Ohio, North California, Oregon. In Asia, we have in Mumbai, Osaka, Seoul, Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo, and we have in Canada and European countries we have, and there are other 10 regions as well, which is not enabled for the free account as well. We even have in Hyderabad as well, but for the free version, it is not enabled. So then what is this regions? So what is mean by this region? What are these locations? Why these locations are used? So first concept in AWS, we are going to see what is mean by region. What is mean by region? Region is nothing but it is a geographical location. Region is nothing but it is a geographical location. It is a geographical location. So it is a geographical location. Why it is a geographical location? Where the data center is located. I said right. Why we moved into cloud computing? Because of like even the companies cannot bear the initial investment of the data center. They need a huge acres of land. So they started renting or leasing the data center, which is available given by the AWS. So that AWS should have the data center, right? Their own data center only we are renting. We are leasing their own data centers servers. So they should have that service, right? So where they are having in the region, they are having in these regions, they are having the different data centers inside the regions. They are having the different data centers inside this region. Either they have in North Virginia, definitely all these regions have the data centers. All these regions have the data centers. So let's take one example. For example, I am developing one app. For example, I'm developing one app. Maybe let's take again the same app like new Facebook. Facebook. This is the app which I am going to develop. This is the app which I am going to develop. This site, majorly I am focusing for the peoples of US peoples. This site, majorly I am focusing for the US peoples. US people going to use this site. US people going to use this site. But US people going to use this site. But the team which is developing, right? The development team, which is the developers and the testers and the DevOps team, is in Chennai. Maybe is in Chennai, some other office like CTS or Chennai or any Hyderabad as well. Some other office which is in Chennai or we are having in Hyderabad as well. So on which basis I need to choose the region? So which region I need to choose? I'm asking you guys. So I need to choose the either like in Asia, Mumbai region, or I need to choose the in US regions. So the development team is in India, but the app people which are using is in US. So I need to choose the region based upon the people or based upon the development team. I need to choose the Asia region or I need to choose the Asia region, or I need to choose the US region. Which region I need to choose? Guys, which region I need to choose?
Based upon the client location.
Based upon the people location or the client location. So I need to choose the US region, not the development team region, because development team is not going to use this app. They are going to use this app. We are going to, US people are going to use the app, so that we need to choose the US region, not the Asia region. If you choose the Asia region, see here. So this is my app. This is my Facebook app. This is my Facebook. This is my Facebook app. So maybe this, consider it is a North Virginia region. Consider it is a Mumbai region. Consider it is a North Virginia region, and it is the Mumbai region, which is far, very, very far from US. This is my North Virginia region. So my people, the app whichever using the peoples are from US. The peoples are from US. Peoples are from US. Peoples are from US. So they are going to use this app. This app, if I hosted in Mumbai, this app, if I hosted in Mumbai region or Mumbai data center, every time when customers comes in, they need to get the data, or they need to access the data from the Mumbai region, which is very high. So the distance is very high. The distance they will call as latency. Distance is called as latency. Here the latency is very high. Obviously my website performance will be affected. So I cannot, like, I will not be get satisfied. People will not be get satisfied with our website, because the latency is very high. If the latency is, definitely our website performance is very slow, because the data need to travel from US to Mumbai region or Asia region, and from there it need to be reverted to the US people. So definitely the latency be high. So what I need to do, I need to host in the US region itself. So again, here the latency is less, the distance is less, so that it will be easily transfer the data. So it will be easily transfer the data, so that the website performance will be very high. So obviously we need to focus upon the people, whoever is using the website, not the development team or the operations team, whoever is maintaining the sites. So we need to focus upon the customer place, not the development place. Okay. So region. So each region, what is the one more point is, each region has multiple availability zones. Each region has multiple availability zones. Each region has multiple availability zones. Availability zones is nothing but the data centers. Availability zones is nothing but the data centers. Availability zones is nothing but the data centers. See here, I'll give one more example. Maybe this is your region. I'll example, take this is the Asia Mumbai region. Take it as Asia Mumbai region. Inside this Mumbai region, we have different availability zones. Inside this different like Mumbai region, we have different availability zones. Maybe availability zone 1, or we can have availability zone 2, or we have availability zone 3 as well. So even like it can have more than 3 as well. That is not a matter. And like in Mumbai, consider we have 3 availability zones. Under this availability zones only, we have a data centers. Under this availability zones only, we have a data centers. So under the region, we have an availability zones. Under the availability zones only, we have a data centers. Under the availability zones only, we have a data centers. So next thing is availability zones. Next thing is availability zones. What is meant by availability zones? As I said, availability zones is nothing but your data center location, which means availability zones are very much secure. Availability zones are very much secure. Even no one doesn't know where this availability zones are located. No one doesn't know where this availability zones are constructed by AWS. They are keeping very much secret. Even AWS people also doesn't know where the availability zones is located. Even AWS people also doesn't know. Only the higher management people knows the availability zones location. Even the AWS people, whoever working in this AWS also, customer end or customer service also doesn't know where the availability zones is located. Doesn't know the availability zone location. So that much secure the AWS is keeping their availability zones. Only the region we know. Under the Mumbai region we know, but we are not sure whether the availability zones in Mumbai itself, we're not sure. It may be in Chennai, it may be in Bangalore, it may be in Hyderabad as well. We are not sure, but we know only the region. The region is Mumbai, the region is Hyderabad. And again, if the region is Hyderabad, we cannot guarantee that availability zones will be in Hyderabad only. It may be in Chennai, or it may be in, it may be Delhi as well, it may be in West Bengal as well. We are not sure. But they are just giving the region is Mumbai, the region is Hyderabad. But they are not revealing any other information where these availability zones are located, where the data centers are constructed, in which place they are constructed, even no one knows where this data centers are constructed, where the availability zones are constructed. Even the AWS people doesn't know where the data centers are constructed. That much secure they are keeping their availability zones. That much secure they are keeping their availability zone. There is some calculation. We have around 33 regions all over in the world. We have around 33 regions and more than 99 availability zones are there. So consider for each region, there might be 2 or 3 availability zones. For each region, there might be 2 or more availability zones. Totally, we have around 99 availability zones as of now. They are increasing again. And there are 33 regions all over the world. There are 33 regions all over the world. This 99 availability zones location, we are not aware where the location is, but the regions only we will know. It is in North Virginia, or it is in Ohio, or it is in Singapore, or Mumbai, or Hyderabad. That only we know, but we are not sure about where these availability zones are located. We are not sure where these availability zones are located. Let's see here. I'll go for AWS regions and availability zones. There is a clear documentation for AWS. That is the reason everyone is preferring the AWS. The documentation and the steps, everything will be very much clear, and it is more secure, and the customer service will be very good, and it is offering n number of services and compared to other cloud providers. See here, I am selecting the Asia Pacific. In Asia, we have in Nixia 3 availability zones. And Seoul, we have 4 availability zones. We have in Beijing, we have 3 availability zones. We have in Tokyo. In Tokyo, we have 4 availability zones. And we have in Osaka, we have 3 availability zones. When coming to India, see here, we have in Hyderabad. In Hyderabad itself, 3 availability zones in the year. It has been launched recently. Last year, it has been launched. And in Mumbai also, we have 3 availability zones. In Mumbai also, we have a 3 availability zone. And in India, we have only 2 locations. One is in Mumbai and one is from Hyderabad. There are each 3 availability zone has been hosted in Mumbai. But this availability zone, we are not sure. Where this availability zones or where the data center is located, we are not sure. I have also said even the AWS people, only the higher authority people know where this availability zones are located, where this availability zones are located. And what is this red color and all? Red is nothing but, see here, it is the coming soon. Red is nothing but it is coming soon. Where it is coming soon? In Thailand, they are constructing one region. In Malaysia, they are constructing one region. Malaysia and Thailand, soon it will be having one region. See here. So we have 31 launched region and 2 more is coming soon. So that is why I said 33. We have 31 launched region. Maybe you can also mark it as 31 launched regions. And there are more than 99 availability zones. There are more than 99 availability zones across the world. Around the world, there are more than 31 launched regions and around 99 availability zones around the world. So, as we know, region is nothing but it is a collection of data center locations. You can say it is a geographical location, and each region has the multiple availability zones or multiple data centers. And availability zones is nothing but it is a data centers, and it is very much secure. We are not sure where these availability zones are located and where the data center has been constructed. No one knows where this is located and all. So, and even the AWS people doesn't know the AWS availability zone locations as well. And this is the count of 31 launch region, and there are around 99 availability zones as well. There are around 99 availability zones. Okay, let's consider some more examples. We have one e-commerce site. E-commerce is nothing but it is a retail site where the buying and selling is happening, like Amazon, Flipkart, or Myntra, AJIO, or any other sites. E-commerce is nothing but it is a retail site. For example, I'll just take at Amazon itself. So Amazon, peoples in India are using, peoples in Australia are using, peoples in US is also using. Okay. Above example, this is my example 2. In the previous example, we have seen only one location customer. We have seen only one location customer, which is in US. So we directly choose the US region. But here, the same site is used by Indian peoples, US peoples, Australia peoples. Now, where we will select the region? We need to select only one region. So where we will select the region? On what basis we will select the region? Guys, on what basis I will select the region? Whether I will choose India or US or Australia? Guys, which region we can choose? Just give a guess actually.
Where we have the highest number of customers.
Correct. Where we have high number of customers, that region we will be choosing. Where we have high number of customers, that we have high number of customers, that region we will be choosing. That region we will be choosing. So if Amazon site is most used by US, the region will be chosen in US. If Amazon has n number of customers in India, then the region that will be chosen in Asia location, which is in Mumbai or Hyderabad, any other location they will choose. If it is more in Australia, they will choose the Australia region. All other customers should hit the Australia server or Australia data center, Australia region, and then we need to get the data. Then only we can get it. Okay, I'll give one more example. Let's take one more example. Maybe I'll give one more example 3. Example 3. So maybe consider a desk hosting having one Netflix application. Netflix application. It is used by both Australian and Indian peoples as well. So this site, Netflix site, it is both used by Australian and Indian peoples. And the Indian customers is very high. Indian customers are very high. Obviously, which region we will choose? Obviously, which region we will choose? Asia region, right? Yes. Asia region we will be choosing. But there is one restriction. But there is a restriction from Australian government. Like Australian people's data should not be shared to the Indian servers or Indian data centers. So they have given this restriction. Who? The Australian government, what they have said, right? So the data from the Australian people's data should not be shared to the Indian servers. At this time, we don't have AWS have no option. We need to choose the Australia region. There is no other option. There is no other way. We need to obviously choose the Australian region. We cannot choose the Indian region. If again Indian government is also restriction, obviously you need to choose 2 regions for the Australian people's own server or Indian people's own server. There is no other option because AWS cannot disobey the government rules. They need to obey the government rules. For that reason, if there is any restriction, definitely we need to obey and we need to switch the servers whenever it is thick. Okay, I'll give one more example. So I'll give one more example. Again, consider I'll just looking in on Netflix. This Netflix is used by US people and Indian peoples as well as the UK peoples. UK peoples. As we know, US peoples are very high. As we know, the US peoples are high in using the Netflix. US people high in using the Netflix. Obviously, the region we will be selecting as region will be definitely it is an US. Definitely it will be US. But my question is, for US people, definitely the video quality will be very high and it will be very high and the performance will be good. The performance will be good. Correct, because they are hitting directly from the US server. So latency is distance. The latency is very much less. So they are easily getting the data from the server. So obviously the application or the performance of the Netflix will be very good, very speed. But US and Indian peoples also paying the same amount. Paying the same amount. Why they should get the poor quality? Why they should get the poor quality? So even though US people is high, but the peoples using in UK and India, but the peoples who are in UK and India, they are also paying some amount, right? Because of the people quantity, why I need to pay the amount? Why I should pay the amount? This much of amount I am paying in order to get the good quality. But again, if I choose the region, definitely the latency, the distance between India and US region or the distance between the UK and the US region will be very high, so that it will result in the poor quality. So that it will result in the poor quality. So that it will result in the poor quality. Okay, so that it will result in the poor quality. Now, what need to do? It is a drawback, right? It is a drawback. We need to resolve this anyway. For that reason, we are moving into the third concept called edge locations. We are moving into third concept called edge location. Second, we have seen availability zone. First one we have seen is region. So remember, region is nothing but a geographical location where region has different availability zones or the data centers. Each region has the multiple availability zones, and each availability zones is considered it is a data center. Availability zones are very much secure. Even no one doesn't know where these availability zones are located. Even the AWS people doesn't know where these availability zones are located. And each one more point, if I add now, each availability zone has multiple edge locations. Each availability zones has multiple edge location. Each region has multiple availability zones. Each availability zones has multiple edge location. Now, what is mean by edge location? What is mean by edge locations? Here, the data will be cached. Data will be cached. What is mean by caching? Is any idea what is mean by caching? In browser also we will clear the cache sometimes. So why we are clearing the caches?
For better performance.
For better performance. So let's take one more example. Whenever I try to log in Facebook first time, today morning I'm just like yesterday night I have cleared all the browser cache and everything it is new. Or if you are buying a new laptop, let's consider you are buying a new laptop. First time you're logging into your Facebook or Gmail, it will ask you the username and password. So it will go to the database and check whether the password you are entered is correct or not. Correct. And what happened? It will go to the US database, and let's take this example itself. So you have a Netflix app. First time, if you're logging in, it will go to the US database or US server. It will check whether the password and the email address that you have entered, it is already there in the database, and we can let him log in or not. So if it is correct only, we are going to log into the Netflix account. If it is not correct, or if it is not in the US database, if it is incorrect in the US database, definitely you cannot log in. Okay. First time it has been said that this is the valid user, valid password. So what happened, right? That data will be cached in your browser. That data will be cached with your browser. When the next time if you try to log in, you don't want to go to the US server and all. It will be locally stored in the edge location. The data will be stored in the edge location. Next time, the data will not be hitting the US region. It will be hitting the edge location. It will be hitting the edge location where the data will be catched, so that you don't want to travel long ago to the US region, or the distance will be very high, or the latency will be very high, but we can directly hit the edge location near your location itself. We can hit the edge location near your location itself, so that easily we can optimize the performance, so that you can even get the same speed what the US people is getting, so that we can get the same speed what the US people is getting. This catched data, the data which we have catched, right? So it will be used for optimizing the performance. The data which we have used, it will be used for optimizing the performance. The catch data will be used in order to optimize the performance of our application, in order to optimize the performance of our application. Now what happens? It is the Mumbai region, and there are multiple availability zones as well. It is the Mumbai region. There are multiple availability zones. I'll show one more example. So let's consider it is our Netflix app. It is our Netflix app. This Netflix app is used by Indian peoples, US peoples, as well as the UK peoples. This Netflix has been used by Indians, UK, as well as US people. Since the US people is very high, what happened? We have hosted the site in the US region. The US region in some availability zones. Since North Virginia itself will have around 6 availability zones, maybe these are your availability zones. So US people, very easy, the distance is very high, so they are getting the good performance. Now I cannot, as an Indian from the UK, we cannot hit the US region each and every time, so that your data, your performance, or the website performance, or the video quality will be very low, so that your video quality will be very low. For that reason, each availability zones has the edge location. For that reason, each availability zones has the edge location, so that your data will be catched and stored over here. Your data will be catched and stored. You don't want to hit the server and all. You can just hit the edge location. You can just hit the edge location and you can get this. This edge location will be nearby to your location. This edge location, maybe it will be nearby to your location, so that the data, you don't want to go to the US region and get the data and all. So it will be catched over here. Like it is similar to, if you have videos in YouTube. So if you download and watch, so next time if you see the video again, it won't get buffered and loaded and all, because the video is catched in your browser. The video is catched in your browser. Even if you try to log in, right, today go and check. The first time after you logging on to your laptop morning, or if you just shut down and log into your laptop, first time if you open the Google browser, it will take some time in order to load completely, because all the configuration need to be done in order to open the browser. If you close again and again if you open the browser, it will be open within a fraction of a second, because all the configuration details has been first done and it is stored in the cache, so that the second time it will not again do all those configuration changes. It will take all the information which has been already done in the first time from the cache, so that my performance optimized. The browser is loaded successfully. Even like you can again try with any Amazon.in itself. First time you open the Google Chrome. First time you just search the Amazon.in. After clearing all the cache also, you just load the Amazon.in. It will take some time in order to load the entire page completely. Again, if you close the browser, again if you re-log in, right? Now try again Amazon.in. It will be loaded soon. It will be loaded very fast. The performance will be very optimized, because second time it will not go to the server and it will look for the cache. It will check in the cache whether this information is already available. If it is not available, it will go to the server. If it is already available, it will directly hit the cache and then it will get the data. It will directly hit the cache and then it will get the data, so that the performance of our website will be optimized. so that the performance of our website will be optimized. So region is nothing but, again, I will just summarize. The region is nothing but it is a geographical location. So each region has multiple availability zones, and availability zones is nothing but your data center. And we are not sure about the location of the availability zone because it is very much secure. And each availability zone has the edge location. Edge location, why we are moving into edge location? In order to optimize the performance. In order to catch the data, we are moving into this edge locations. So this is what the basic introduction we have. This is what the basic introduction session we have. So we need to, before starting any services, we need to know this core logic. We need to know this core logic. What is region? What is availability zone? And what is meant by edge location? What is meant by edge location? At least you need to be very much sure about the region and availability zones. At least you must be very careful and you have a good knowledge in what is region and what is availability zones before moving into any other services. Before moving into any other services. The first services tomorrow, the first services what we are going to see is EC2. It is most commonly used services. It is a most commonly used services in AWS. So if in case of interview point of view, first thing they will ask what is EC2, how to create an EC2. First thing they will be asking what is EC2 and how to create an EC2 and what is the use of EC2, why we are moving into EC2. That is what the question will start like. EC2 is nothing but why it is named as EC2. It is elastic. It is an elastic compute cloud. Or you can say as elastic cloud computer. You can say as elastic cloud compute. This one is 1C, it is second C. That is why it is EC2. There are 2 C's. That is why it is EC2. Elastic cloud compute. This is first C. This is second C. So total there are 2 C's. That is the reason they have just marked as elastic cloud compute. That is the reason they are just marked as elastic cloud compute, which is nothing but it is a virtual server. Which is nothing but it is a virtual server or virtual machine, or they will call as instance. So further, if I say machine, I'm just virtual machine, that is I'm referring to EC2. If I say server, that is also I'm referring to the EC2. If I say an instance, that is also I'm referring to an EC2. Maximum, we will use this term called instance. Maximum, we will use this term called instance. In AWS itself, for this term, for this EC2, they are using the term called instance. They are using the term called instance. This instance, virtual instance or virtual machine. What is meant by physical machine? The laptop whichever we are using. What is the physical machine? The desktop whichever we are using, that is called physical machine. The same thing, we are going to create one online machine or cloud machine or virtual machine. You are not going to buy any machines physically. You are going to create one machine virtually on the cloud. That is called virtual machine. You are going to create one Windows laptop on your or Windows machine on your cloud. You are going to create one Linux machine on your cloud. We are going to create one Mac machine on your cloud. So even though if you have a Windows machine in AWS cloud, I can log in and then I can create the Linux machine. I can create the Mac machine virtually. You can use it virtually. So that is the EC2. Tomorrow we are going to create the Linux machine on our cloud, as well as the next day we will be checking out how to create the Windows machine as well. How to create the Windows machine as well. So the EC2 is nothing but it is an elastic cloud compute, which is nothing but it is a virtual machine or the virtual server or the virtual instance. We can call it as it is an instance. Just remember, it is a virtual machine or virtual laptop or virtual desktop. The physical is nothing but the laptop whichever you are using in order to join or in order to do some your works. That is called physical machine. Virtual machine is nothing but we are hosting the machine or we are creating one machine on your cloud. We are creating one machine on your cloud. Tomorrow we are going to see how to create a virtual machine on your Windows. How to create a virtual machine on your Windows. Maybe first session I will be creating a Linux machine because mostly we will be into the Linux machines only. Mostly even AWS itself are into the Linux machine. AWS itself are into the Linux machine. So before coming to tomorrow's session, create one AWS account and then come back to the tomorrow's session, because without creating an AWS account, we cannot proceed in order to with the services whichever we are going to see further. So AWS account is mandatory. Just create your AWS account and then come back to tomorrow's session. If you have any doubts or any issues in creating the AWS account, just ping me in the group so I can resolve it, or you can ping me personally as well. I'll be helping you to resolve this. Guys, any doubt in today's session?
No,
Is any doubt? Guys, others, Hemant, Nagaraj,
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, guys, let's connect tomorrow. If you have any doubts, just ping me, or let's create an Amazon account and then come back to tomorrow's session. We can connect at the same time. Okay, guys, thanks.
Satish?
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, tell me. So someone called me. Right?
Satish, are edge location same like availability zones?
No, edge location is not same as availability zones. Under availability zones only we have an edge location. Why we are moving to edge location? In order to catch the data. So that if user comes into any site, first thing they will search for the data in the edge location, not in the availability zones. So like in edge location, if you have any data, from there itself we can retrieve so that our website performance will be good. So if there is no data available in the edge location or in your cache, then only it will go to your server and get fetch the data. Edge location is mainly to improve your performance, not to improve your website performance, optimize the performance.
Okay, Satish, thank you.
Okay, let's connect tomorrow.